everyone. Welcome to Jolly Molly TV. Today is the next step in our fun new project, the Red, White, and Bloom Quilt by Kimberbell. Okay, I hope everyone watched video number 1 where we talked about the supplies that you would need in order to make this project. So I hope you've had a chance to gather everything because we are ready to roll. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is the fabrics that we're going to need in order to do this project. Now, Kimberbell does make a fabric kit for this project with these really cute fabrics in it. My supplier is still out, so I've decided to go with my own stash. But if you're one of the lucky ones that were able to get a hold of this kit, then the next part of this video won't really pertain to you so much, but you might want to watch anyway to get some tips on how to select your own fabrics for a quilt that's pretty detailed like this is. Now, if you don't have the fabric kit, don't worry, because we can select fabrics from your stash that will make this quilt a one-of-a-kind quilt just to you. And I think that's pretty cool. I showed you last time my favorite fat quarter set here, and I've had a lot of people ask me where I got this. This is actually a Lily and Loom fat quarter set. I believe it's just called, Yankee Doodles Fat Quarter. This is from Craftsy, back when Craftsy was its own entity before Blueprint took it over, changed it to Blueprint, where then it was bought out again and renamed Craftsy. This is back in the original days when they used to sell quilt kits and fabric. They had some of the coolest fabric that I have seen. And when they would do their Thanksgiving sale, man, I would just try to stock up as much as I could. So this is from those days. So it's not available now, it's discontinued. But you might be able to find it on a website like Etsy or eBay, someplace out there, maybe even on Facebook. Some of the places that might have some of these, but this is a discontinued set. And unfortunately for this project, I think it's pretty dang perfect for it. So if you like this, you can give it a shot. It's by Lily and Loom, and it's called Yankee Doodles. See if you can see that there. Fat quarter set. It's so cute. Okay, so I have gone ahead and broken this set up. Okay, it's so pretty. It's like petting fabric. I know. Can't help it. It's so pretty. All right, so that is the first thing that we're going to do. Is because I'm going to use this fat quarter set for this project. I want to go through the fabrics that Kimberbell has listed in here and pick a fabric out of this fat quarter set that will correspond to these. Now, in your instruction book, this is again the machine embroidery version of the Red, White, and Blue project. If you look on page 4 and 5, you're going to see 29 different fabrics that are used for the main portion of the quilt, in addition to the borders, back, and binding, which we'll get to when we're close to the end of this project. But for right now, what I'd like you to do for easy reference, if you're picking fabrics out of your own stash, you can go ahead and number these. Okay, this is going to make it a lot easier to identify these fabrics as we go along. Now, if you have the Kimberbell kit, you won't need to do this because you have the colored swatch, so to speak, of the fabric that you're going to be using for each segment. But if you are going to choose fabrics from your own stash, go ahead and number these, and I'll explain a little bit why this is going to be a lot easier to deal with as we go through and select our fabrics. So go ahead and number them. Okay, got that done. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through each one and kind of walk you through how my process was in selecting the fabric that I wanted to use on that particular part So you can kind of get the understanding of the thought process, okay? So the first one is fairly easy. Hopefully you can see this. Number one is parade truck tires, and they have black with a little white dots. Well, I'm just going to go basic black. In fact, I might have some black leather from the previous project we just did, the Main Street Celebration bench pillow / wall hanging that I did. I believe I have some black leather left over from that. So I will either use the black leather for the little truck tires, or I will use this black cotton. So what I've done, since we've numbered all of these down, this is fabric number 1. I have taken a sticky note and I have just marked it, number 1, can you see that, with a circle that identifies it that this is fabric number 1. And then I just wrote briefly what it was used for. So this is going to be the parade truck tires. What this is for is a intermediate step before we get to cutting, so that I can identify the fabric that I'm going to use, label it, match it to the Kimberbell swatches, and then when it comes to cutting, I can double check, okay, yes, I'm on number 1, and this is for parade truck tires. So I have grabbed the correct fabric. Okay, so that's number 1. That was pretty easy, black and black. Can't go too wrong with truck tires. It's not like we can have pink truck tires. Well, I could, but no, not very feasible. Okay, so now the next one, we are talking the star borders background and the parade truck dimensional pendants and some border blocks. And Kimberbell has a blue, nice blue fabric here with some like little vines, little white flowers. So going through the set, I said, okay, we've got several different blues here. Let's pull all the blues out and let's deal with them. So I was like, which one of these blues would look good as a basic? And I thought, the dark's a little dark. I'm going to go medium. Okay. So then I said, okay, this is going to look good for that. And if I look on here, I can say, okay, the fabric they're using has little vines and flowers. And I can look on this set and say, okay, it's a border block. Aha, it's up here. And can you see that? It's part of this border block and this one down here. So that one would look really nice as the background because the star border is going to be red and white on top. So this would be a very nice combination with that. The trick is to look at their chart and then get a picture in here of the block that they're talking about, so you can kind of gauge if that fabric's going to be good for you. Okay, I think this one's going to be really good, so I've marked this one a number 2, and I've gone ahead and marked it star border backgrounds, the parade truck pendants, and let's see if we can find a picture. Yeah, the parade truck, you see that there, little pendants. That blue will look good on that. And then it was the border blocks. So this is a winner. So I've labeled this number 2, put a clip on it, and I'm going to put this one aside. So that one is selected. Now let's go on to number 3. Number 3 is a firework background for firework. It's just a, let's see, firework background. Oh, it's this one here. Yeah, it's this guy right here. So immediately I'm thinking, if I go back to the blues, I'm thinking this one because it's mostly blue, and guess what it also has on it? It has fireworks. Winner, winner. And I think that would be pretty with the white glitter vinyl and the red rocket tip. Or you can do like I did in my last project and reverse it. Do a red body and a white tip. I think that would be a very good one for that one. So we go back. There's a lot of flipping back and forth, but this is how you can really identify what you like as a fabric. So I'm going to mark this number 3, firework background. I've also identified it as something I'm going to use for number 18, but for right now, just mark it number 3, firework background, and we'll set that one aside. Okay, we're going pretty good. So now we're looking at the watermelon background, a watermelon 1 and watermelon 3. And the watermelon, here it is. This is the background that they used, which is kind of a blue, kind of a honeycomb right there. Okay, so, yeah, see, it's got blue with a little kind of a honeycomb fabric. So I'm looking at number 1 thinking, it is kind of a more of a solid color. Let's look at that again. Let's look at this one a little bit better. Okay, so watermelon 1 and watermelon 3 are blue. It's like a medium blue. But you know what? What would be really cool to spice this up is to go to something a little bit even more wild. Because this is Red, White, and Bloom. It's about patriotic, July 4th, summertime. And I'm using patriotic fabric. So what would that look like? That would be cool. But the question would be, I need to find out what the watermelon fabric is first before I make a decision on this. So I'm going to jump over here and I'm going to say, okay, it's got to be red. What are they talking watermelon? Here they are. So we're talking number 17, if you can see that there, is what they are putting as the body of the watermelon, which is kind of like a red, what's the word, houndstooth fabric. So I pulled out my reds and I said, okay, which red kind of looks like it might go, huh? Let's try this one. This is pretty darn close to that, but it has the patriotic stars, and I think that would be so cute on a watermelon. So it's like the patriotic, you'd have the watermelon wedge, but then the watermelon wedge would also have stars. That's one patriotic watermelon. So I think that's the winner. What do you think? Again, make it your own. Spice it up. Change it up. You don't have to do things exactly the way someone else has them. You can just be a little wild, a little daring, go with the theme, and be creative. Make it your own. So that's the winner. But see, in order to pick this one, we had to look at the watermelon to see what the other piece was to correspond with this. So I like this one a lot. So I'm going to put a number 4 on this one, and I'm going to mark it the watermelon background. Again, this is only until we get to the cutting stage, and we put it in the bags that we talked about in the last video, because you don't want to have to go through and figure this out twice. So I've labeled it number 4, and it's also going to be the back home for the Sweet Home, which is also this one. Wouldn't that be fun? The patriotic, that's going to be nice with that too. So the background for the watermelon, and then background for that Sweet Home. I like that a lot. Here's another closer picture of that Sweet Home. So that's going to serve as the background for that as well. I don't think it's too busy. I think it's going to be fun. I really do. And I might change up the lettering on there. You do that as white, and then maybe instead of doing a red, do it like a brighter blue or something that'll really stand out. We'll test it out when we get to that. But I don't think it's going to be too busy for that. It'll be fun. Let's do it. Okay, back to our chart. So we have number 4 identified. And because I also know this is the winner for the watermelon, it's also going to work well for the pop bottle pinwheels. And it's perfect for cherries. Ow, the grill. The little fire up the grill. It's perfect for that too. Let's get a picture of that. Where's the grill? Where's the grill? Here's the grill. Look at that. That's a good fabric for the grill. So winner, winner all along there. Okay. I am happy with that. So we're going to go back. So 17 is also identified. So we'll put that aside. So now, let's keep going. Number 5, we're talking the Star Block 1 and 2 and the Firefly. And they used a really cool kind of a cross-hatch blend in, kind of a blender with blue, with darker blue lines. And that's what this is. It kind of gives it a denim look. Let's see here. Here we go. It gives it more of kind of a denim look. So I wanted something darker that would blend more. So getting out the rest of my blues, I think this one would be a good one for that one. Don't you? It's a little bit darker, but allow all those little fireflies to sparkle and shine. I like that one a lot. Okay, is there anything else it's going to be used for? Because you got to like test drive this. You have to actually go through and say, okay, yes, it's going to work for the fireflies. It will work for the star blocks as well. It's going to work for those. And the pop bottle pinwheels. Oh yeah. Fabric for those little pinwheels that are coming out of the pop bottles. Let's see if I can get a better picture of that. Pop bottles. Because that I think will be a good, if I can find it. Here we go. Yeah, see? It's got a combination of this too. I think that blue is going to be perfect for that too. So this is a winner for number 5. Okay. So again, mark it with a number 5, and then I just put a detail as to what it is. So that way, again, when I go to cut it in the next video, I'll be able to triple check that I have got the right fabric and for the right blocks. Okay, so number 5 is good. Number 6 is for flower backgrounds. Flower backgrounds. Oh, down here. It's very hard to see. Hope you can see it. These little kind of daisies, they have a flower background. And also this fabric that's in the star block, that's the blue that goes with the white. That's what that is too. And in this, we just happen to have a nice fabric, which I think is pretty close to what they have, is a houndstooth, and I'm going with blue with white stars. How about that? Pretty darn close, huh? So again, we're going to mark that one, number 6, and then put the star flower details, flower 2, flower 4, and star block 2. So that's number 6. Coming together pretty good, huh? How you doing? You feeling comfortable about this? You got this. I know you do. Just go like I do and go one step at a time. Okay, now let's do number 7. 7, they want a fat 16th, and it's watermelon 2 background, which is another type of kind of honeycomb. Okay, so the other ones were a darker honeycomb. This is kind of a lighter, kind of a medium. Well, in this fabric, I don't have very many blues left, but I have this really cool fabric that has the states on it. Louisiana, Alabama, Arizona. Okay, I think this would be really cool to have as a background with the watermelon. And if you remember, this is the fabric we're using for the watermelons. So I think that would give a really cool background texture to a watermelon block. What do you think? Okay, well, I'm going to give it a shot. So we're going to use this for number 7. And again, it's not very much. They just want a fat 16th because it's only for 2 things. But I marked it number 7. Watermelon background and a border block. I think that would be fun. Let's use that up. Okay, now number 8 is several things. We got border blocks. It's kind of the plaid here, the white with the plaid, white with the plaid there. And it's cherries on, the background for the cherries. Okay, so we have a picture of those cherries. Here's a good picture there of those cherries. See that? Okay, so what would be good with the cherries? There's a really good picture of it. So going through my white stash that has print, I have whites with blues, white with stars. But I like this one. Look at that. It's a white with a paisley. But I think that is pretty close to that. What do you think? Think it's a winner? I do too. Okay, so we're going to label this one number 8 and mark it also with the details. Now you see how actually easy this is, because when you first open things, it's like, oh man, I'm a little overwhelmed trying to figure out what fabric to put with each one. if you go through one at a time and you kind of test drive it, holding it up to the blocks that you're going to be making it on, it becomes kind of fun where you can say, hey, I like that, or no, I don't like that. And you can narrow down or go back to your stash and find another piece. So I think it's actually really fun when you get to this point and you're starting to say, hey, this is not so hard. I get this. This is kind of fun. So mark that number 8 and let's go have some more fun. Okay, number 9 is for the parade truck background. So they have a very light aqua, okay, which is going to tie into the aqua flowers that are in your embellishment kit. So I want to keep that in mind. And in fact, let's go see if I can find the truck real fast in this big book. Here we go. Okay. Nope. All right. So it's more kind of a light aqua. All right. Well, I looked in my stash. There's nothing in my fat quarter set that's going to work with that because that's all red, white, and blues. So I went to my stash and dug around. And I thought, you know what? I don't have anything this light, but I do have this. This is a fun fabric that even has a little bit of glitter in it. And I thought color-wise, that looks nicely with the project. Goes well, will allow the red of the truck to really stand out because that's going to be a piece of red leather. So let's just pretend this is red leather. But you can kind of see the red's really going to shine nicely on this. And it's going to all go with the red and white and blue theme. So this is our winner for number 9 for the truck. Okay. So let's go back to our chart. Here we go. So number 9 is a parade truck background. It's also going to be the background for a pop bottle. So if we look for the pop bottle, it's right here. So there's the truck, there's the pop bottle. And it's going to be Relish Today, the background for that. That'll look good with the ketchup bottles and the relish and all of that. And what's the other one? The pennants on the truck. It's part of that. But it's like, well, you really think it's going to look good with the relish? Well, let's find out. Okay. So the mustard bottle is number 26. So I went to my stash and I pulled up some yellow that we could use for mustard. There's mustard. That will look good on that. Let's see, what was also on there? The ketchup bottle. Look here, and the ketchup bottle is number 19, which I have already figured out that would be a fun ketchup bottle. And what else do we need? Relish, green. We need a relish bottle. So I went to my stash and I got some green. What do you think? I think that's going to look nice. With the ketchup, the relish, the mustard on this background, I think that'll really stand out and will pop. But yet it's going to tie everything in, I think. So again, I think just test driving it gives us ability to figure out what we really want on our quilt. So this, I think, is a winner for the ketchup bottle. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that one number 19. Okay, set that one aside. This, I think, works really well for the relish bottle. So this is number 13. So I'm going to mark this as 13. Set that aside. See how it's coming together? This is the mustard bottle minus the threads. Mustard bottle is number 26. So I mark that one off. See how it's coming together? And then that tells me that this, number 9, is a winner. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that number 9 as well. So that's a winner for all those components. So right there, that just took care of 1, 2, 3, 4 fabrics, just like that. Okay? And then as you mark them, you know you're done with them. I think that's really cool. So the last one was number 9. We're getting there. We're actually almost done. The number 10 is a firework number 2 background. And I had to look for this one really hard earlier because it's only a small section. It's a 6.5 by 8. But it's this one. Yep, it's this one right here behind the blue firework. Can you see that? It's the one behind the blue. So I want something for number 10 that's going to allow that firework to stand out. So a subtle background. I don't want anything bold like this. I want something subtle, but yet has some sort of movement behind it. And I think that paisley will be fun. What do you think? Okay. A little bit of paisley with a blue firework on top with a red tip. I think that's fun. What do you think? All right, so we're going to use that for number 10. All right. Number 11. Actually, hold that thought. Let's go to number 12 for a second. 12 is just a border block. And you're saying, what is a border block? A border block is one of these fillers in between that does not have any embroidery applique item on top of it. So it's called a border block because it fills in. And I am in lack of finding it. This is it. Found it. Took me a second, but I found it. So this one right here, I think, number 12, I think this would also be great for that. Because this can just stand by its own. This will be back here with the firework on it, but this can also be just a standalone. It has great movement. So I'm going to use that as well for number 12. So I labeled it number 10 and number 12. So that one's done. Now we get to go to number 11. 11 is the freedom background. Freedom, which is right here. And it is the jar of flowers. Yes, jar of flowers right here. Background. Okay. So they have something that's kind of a subtle with just straight lines behind it. And so I'm going to do a subtle one as well. This is a white, but it has the same stars pattern that's in this one here. You just can't really see it on camera, but it has the exact same print in just white on white. So I think that'll be subtle enough that will let those pretty flowers just shine through, and will also let that family fireworks block shine through. So I like that one for number 11. A white tone on tone. Okay, number 11. We've done number 12. 13, we've actually already done. That was the relish bottle, which we chose as this green. So 13 is done. Okay. 14 is for the cherry leaves and Home Sweet Home dimensional leaves. So this dimensional leaf right there, let's see if I can get you a better picture. Home Sweet Home. This is a kind of a bow tie that you tie on there. Isn't that cute? And then it's also for the leaves on the cherry up here. Can you see that? The leaves on the cherries. So going to my stash again, because there's no red, white, and blue in this one, it's green. I found a fabric very similar. I mean, pretty darn similar. My scrolls are a little bit tighter than the scrolls they show, but it's basically the same fabric. Winner, winner. So we're going to use those for the cherry leaves. Couldn't do that one again if I tried in my stash. Okay, that's number 14. And we're almost done with this page. 15 is going to be the flag. Now this to me is an important thing. All right. We want the flag to look awesome. Isn't that cool? We're talking the stripes of this flag. Okay. So digging through, I was like, okay, what number are we on? We're on 15. All right. I thought, you know what? We need to do something really, really fun here. And I think the red. This red would be amazing for the stripes, don't you think? The fun thing about this fat quarter is it has a direction to the stripes. So I put a little star on my note after I labeled it for number 15 that I want to make sure I pay attention to which direction my stripes are going to go when I go to cut this. Because if it's a directional fabric, I don't want the stripes being this way on one and that way on the next stripe. I kind of want the flag to be flowing the same direction. No matter what direction it is, I'd like my flag stripes going in the same direction. So, okay, as long as we're doing the flag, then let's jump over here and look at number 21. 21, they have a white with print. That is the other selection of stripes for the flag. So I'm like, okay, so let's see. Which one would look awesome for stripes? Nope. Nope. Nope, definitely nope. Nope, too red. Ah, I love that. Isn't that cool? Talk about a patriotic flag. We've got the stripes and fireworks. I think that would be a very nice offset. Give it movement, but yet it has that red and white in it. What do you guys think? Is it too much? I don't think so. I really like it. It's going to give it the look of a flag from afar, but when you get close, you're going to see all that cool print with the fireworks and the stripes. That's why if you sit there and imagine stripe, see if I can do this. Stripe. Stripe. I think that's cool. I think that's really cool. And you know what? I can always do one, and if I don't like it, I can change it up. But I think that's going to give really, really fun flag. All right, so let's give that a shot. So I'm going to mark this as number 15. That was for the first stripes. Okay. 15. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark this one as 21, which is for the other side of the stripes. I think that's cool. The only thing that would be cool too would be this, but that might be too much fireworks. That might be too much back and forth as a flag. This, I think, gives it a really nice offsetting texture, and it doesn't look like it's too much. This and this might be a little too much for the stripes, but this and this makes this stand out, but yeah, also makes that stand out. So I like those. Let's give those a shot. So that was 15 and 21. Guys, are almost done. We're on the last page, the home stretch here. And you've actually done the majority of it. So I think that's really cool. 16, we're going to go with cherries. And I like this for the cherries. I think as cherry accents would be really cute. You'll still be able to see the states, but it'll be kind of bundled up in a little ball. Let's see if I can show you the cherries. Yeah. I think that's really cool. All right, so we're going to do that for the cherries. Number 16. It's getting easier, huh? And also the choices of fabric are getting fewer and fewer and fewer. They really are. Okay. So that was 16. We've already done 17. That was our watermelons. Okay, 18. There was another fabric earlier that we talked about for number 3. The firework background that I said I thought would also be good on this border block because there's only one of them. But the trick in this one was I said, okay, the fabric border block is number 18. It's kind of like a red plaid right here. It's going to stand alone. So I want it to be something that has its own kind of movement to it. And that's the 4.5 inch block right there that's going to be. Number 3 was a background of firework 1, which is down here. I feel I can use the same fabric for this block as I do for this one because they're far enough away. And I think that is a good use of this awesome print. So we're going to use this for number 3 and number 18. Okay. Okay, so now we're on 19. So 19 was the ketchup bottle that we talked about earlier, so that one's already done. So we're now up to number 20, which is the Life is Sweet background and the Pop Bottle 3. And Life is Sweet is this really cute lemonade picture. So I want right to it. I would like a red background. That's fun. And I don't have many reds left in my Fat Quarter series here. I've got this one right here. And I think that would be fun. It would give the fireworks on the background, the white of the text, and then the picture. I think that that would be really fun. So I'm going to go ahead and use that one for the Life is Sweet block. Give it a little fun twist there. Get it? Lemon twist. Hey! Fun twist. So that is going to be number 20. So mark it number 20 and your little description there. You're almost done. These are all the Fat Quarters I have left in the collection. 21 we've already done. Those were the flag stripes. We already figured that out when we did the flag. So number 22 is for border block and a firework number 3 background. So if I look for firework, this one's up here. It's a white and it has firework prints on it too. So let me see which one of these would look good. This might be a little busy. This would be good, and this would be good. I'm thinking this one. Yep, that's the one I chose. Okay, so 22 is going to be this fun one. Red, white, and blue. That's going to be fun. So 22 on that one. 23, yeah, I went with this one. This is a star block part of, where's the other star blocks? Here we go. Blue? Okay, it's this one right here. So we've already picked the blue fabric out. Now I want to pick the white that's going to go right next to that. Okay, and I think this will be good. Now, there's one way to test drive this, is to figure out which one of these fabrics, blue houndstooth was number 6. See, this is where the numbering system comes in handy too. So I'm looking for number 6. Here it is. And this is one part of the star, and that's the other part of the star. So if I flip this over and I say, okay, this is going to be a star there. Is that going to look cool? That's going to look cool. So that star block is going to be really nice. They give each other a little bit of motion, but yet they stand out. Very nice. That worked out great. Okay, so I'm going to mark this one, number 23. Almost done, almost done. Okay, so 24 is a yellow. This is where they go into the yellows. And I decided for this quilt, I'm going to stick more of the red, white, and blue and the aqua, a little bit of yellow for the relish, but I'm not going to do yellow on these blocks. So I have this Fat Quarter left, which is the white version of the States, which I think will be good. This is going to be just border blocks. So it's going to be a plain, plain there, and plain there. There's no applique on it. So those States can really shine in those sections. I think that would be good. And it'll be totally different because there's different States in each section. So those are going to make it unique. So I like that. So let's do number 24 is that. Life is Sweet Lemonade. 25 is just a fabric scrap for the background of the lemonade picture. Okay, I found this in my stash because, again, the Fat Quarter set doesn't have any yellows. This is a Fairy Frost. It's almost like a yellow meets gold. Has a little bit, it's not glitter, but it has a little bit of like a metallic texture to it. It's really cool. Imagine that as the inside background of the lemonade picture. And mind you, remember we chose the background fabric for the lemonade, and it was going to be this. This is Sweet Home background number 4. Imagine that and the lemonade picture with white. That's going to really stand out with the lemons in it. I think that's going to be fun. I like that a lot. So I'm going to use this as number 25, Life is Sweet Lemonade. I'm also going to use it as number 27, the red, white, and bloom background, which is this. And I think that would be really, really fun. I like that. So use that for 25 and 27. And then 29 is a little planter that goes on top of this. So I think the planter, I'm going to do a white planter. Imagine that with this. I think a little white planter with the flower would be cool, because the flower that's going to go on it is the turquoise. So it'll be this, the print, white planter, and then the turquoise. I think that would be really cute. Almost done. You got this. Okay, and then last but not least is number 28. 28 is a border block and a pop bottle number 2 and Fire Up the Grill background. Let's get a picture of the grill. Here we go. Fire Up the Grill. They have it like a very muted text, but I think this white glitter fabric I have would be perfect, because I want the grill to pop. This white fabric is going to be in the planter. It would be really cute as the background on that grill. And the other item was a border block and pop bottle 2. Down here, that would be super pretty with that pop bottle. So we're going to incorporate this white glitter fabric. This is actually, I think, originally from Joann's. It's one of their keepsake calicos. It's a white glitter. You can also get a Fairy Frost by Michael Miller. But I like this one because it's a subtle glitter, but it's pretty. From far away, you just kind of see kind of a glimpse of the silver, but up close you're like, ooh, it's pretty glitter. So I like that a lot. So you guys did it. That is it. I'm going to talk about the borders and the back of the binding when we get done, because the more you do this and the further along you'll get a better idea as to what you want to have on your borders and your back and your binding. If you have the kit, that's obviously going to be something that you already have figured out. But if you're doing your own stash, you will get ideas as you go through this process as to what you want to use and what color you want where as you see this unfold. Look what you guys did, everybody. This is awesome. So if you already have the kit from Kimberbell, I hope that this video gave you some tips and tricks as to how you can select your own fabric in the future if you'd like to. If you don't have the kit and you're doing this project from your stash, I really hope that this video gave you some of the tools you needed to feel more comfortable and confident in being able to select your own fabric from your stash, whether it's separate fabrics or it's a fat quarter collection, and then how to go through the book one by one to label the fabrics and to select based on what they had, based on your preferences, what you like, what you don't like, and test driving it with these blocks to see what you think would look nice as you go through this process. Now, the next video is coming soon. We're going to be taking these fabrics and we're going to be cutting them into the pieces and putting them into our bag system. So your homework between now and the next video is I want you to take your fat quarters, if you're using them, carefully press them out. Use steam if you need to, because you're going to have some creases here that might be a little bit difficult to get out. But carefully do them one at a time and retain your labels. So you'll open this up, flatten it all out, get it all off, and then put your label back on that fat quarter. Then move on to the next one. Because you don't want to have to go through this again, and you've properly identified everything you have. So go ahead and press these out. Again, use steam on your creases. Make sure they are all nice, pressed out, ready to go with their markers still in place. And then we will proceed in the next video to do your cutting. Okay, so we will go through this book as well, go one by one, and we'll cut what we need and we'll use the bag system. So that will be the next video. But look what you guys did. Isn't this exciting? You're getting all ready to do the project. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video if you liked it, as YouTube likes to see whether people like the videos. Also, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. We are inching ever closer to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. So exciting. So that is the best way that you can help support this channel and help keep these videos coming. And also click the bell notifications once you subscribe, so that way you're notified each time that I upload a video. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Come back again and watch the next video here on Jolly Molly TV. You guys did great today. All right. Talk to you later. See you soon. Bye-bye.